Second. Whoa.
Whoa. Okay. We're so baller. We're so fixing. We are so fixing everything. Okay. Wah! Not the audio being scuffed on the tech support stream. Hello, ibuprofen. I love that name. Hello, ibuprofen. Hello, megaphone? What do you mean megaphone? What do you mean? I do not remember. I don't have a megaphone. Sev, I mean ibuprofen. Sev, you can keep this name. I like this name. Hello, Ralin. Hello, Snowy. Hello, Goomy. Hello, you. Hello, Cherry Blossom. Hello, goodbye, rather. Fade Will. How are you guys? How have your weekends been? How has your week been? I love streaming so late and so intermittently because it feels like we have things to talk to each other about, right? Like I feel like I have not heard what you guys have been up to in so long, and now we're like silly little friends meeting up and like eating dinner together and catching up on the tea. Tell me your tea. What has been happening with you? What's been happening over the week? I will say I've been very busy. Twig got invited to like 6 things, and so Twig is kind of in hell right now. Twig also has things to edit so that Twig can release a cover, because guess the fuck what? The covers have not stopped coming. I've been grinding Infinity and Nikki all weekend. Ooh, that sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. I've been too busy to play games. I should really start playing more games on stream, because this could be like my silly little gaming time. But yeah, no, I haven't played games in so long. It's actually kind of tragic. I wonder how many like gacha streaks I've lost. Because like, oh, I haven't even logged into Love and Deep Space, and that's like real quick gacha streaks. Well, it's Monday, so therefore my 1-day week has been pretty much void. Well, I hope you enjoyed void. You know, sometimes we just need rest. Sometimes we need rest from action, and sometimes that's just the best thing to do, right? It's still not enough. The grind never stops. The grind truly never does stop with Genshin and other gachas and Nikki, especially like what is it? Crafton Infold? Whatever the company is for Love and Deep Space and Nikki. I feel like that company in specific is a lot more like punishing with their gacha, weirdly enough, more than Genshin, but that just might be a me thing. That might be a me opinion. I'm cosplaying! Who are you cosplaying? Are you guys going to conventions and stuff? I kind of really... I wish that I could go to conventions again. I've been like watching Sarah Spaceman's videos, and this morning I was watching one of hers and I was like, I wish it could be me. I wish it could be me going to cons and being all silly with the cosplayers. The tea is cold and completely forgotten by me. Well... Sometimes it's just better that way. Sometimes the tea is cool. I was addicted to Infinity Nikki. OMG, that game is fun. It is fun, but it's also very grindy, and I think that's why I stopped playing it a lot. I envy your ability to churn out projects. Shush, Gumi! You act like you aren't doing your own projects right now. I feel like Gumi has just as many projects as I do, honestly. Goomy was like 2 of the projects that I got invited to, so I don't want to hear shit from you. You know, sometimes you just get invited to things, and then if you're Twig, you just accept everything because you're mentally ill and you convince yourself that you can do everything. I will say I don't accept everything, but I try my best. I try my best to not turn down opportunities. I woke up a couple of minutes ago thinking it was a school for me. Oh, Well, I mean, in a way, this stream is kind of school. This stream, we're gonna be talking about VTuber stuff and how to become a VTuber and all of the technical stuff that goes behind being a VTuber, because I realize I have like one very, very, very good stream on how to become a VTuber, but I've never really peeled back that curtain of like, how does things actually work? How is the technical things done? What are the softwares used? What is up with that? And so I feel like that's what I want to answer questions about today. If you have ever been curious at any point about how Twig does any of this, please let me know, because I will gladly blah 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 blah. I will gladly go greatly in detail. Yes, I can English. I can speak English. I woke up I've been addicted / getting sidetracked by just staring at the scenery, and then I remember I have things I was gonna do and repeat the cycle. You know, I love open world games for that, because it's just so fun, right? It's just so fun going around and seeing all the like shinies to pick up. It just gets really depressing when you're a completionist like me and you like complete an entire area, because then you have no real reason to return to that area, and it just makes everything depressing. No way, they're nowhere near to release though. You release things more often than twice a year. Yeah, but I'm also kind of like crazy, so like honestly, comparison is the thief of joy, right? Don't compare yourself to my release schedule, because I am just crazy. Wooba is perfect for my ADHD mind, so I can jump and glide everywhere. That's true. That's very true. I'm watching in the middle of my English class practice. Oh my god, you is getting like practical English. Honestly though, this might not be the best English to learn, especially considering I get on stream and I become brain dead and my words become vomit. Twig is crazy must be a day that ends with why? No, but I really do mean that. I feel like, okay, this is getting into the spicy takes already, the spicy VTuber advice, right? I feel like VTubers hold themselves to much higher of a volume of content than normal, like, regular ass content creators do, and it's honestly unhealthy. And the reason we hold ourselves to this standard of like, oh yes, 3 streams a week plus a weekly upload plus daily shorts plus I gotta manage all my covers and stuff as indies is literally just because that's what the agencies do. So the only time you really want to follow that is if you want to join an agency. But even then, you could still get scouted for an agency without that posting schedule. And then even then, do you even want to be in an agency? Have you seen all of the closures recently? I feel like it's something that we need to step away from as a culture. As a VTubing culture, I feel like we need to step away from the like excessive amount of uploads, because I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like that gives viewers burnout. You guys can tell me if you relate to this, but I feel like if a creator posts too often, it's like you start to ignore them a little bit, right? You see the notification and you're like, ah, it's that person again. Nah, Twig, don't gaslight me. I can do more. You know, Gooey, if you want to do more, feel free to do more. But I just feel like as a culture, we shouldn't guilt ourselves into like feeling like we have to do all of these things all the time, because A, it's not sustainable, but also B, like it is very much a VTuber thing to do that. I feel like it's much more of a VTuber thing, or even just like a streamer thing to do that. But like we forget that content creators aren't just streamers. Like, I feel like that gets lost nowadays, that like being a creator doesn't necessarily mean you stream, and you don't have to stream. You can do all sorts of content. Also feeling bad for not being able to put out stuff as frequently as others. Yeah, that's true. Like, I feel like if you are like guilting yourself about having a life, that's a little bit of like a backwards mentality. I feel like if you are sitting there as a creator, right? And you're being like, oh my god, I'm not posting enough. Oh my god, I'm like the scum of the earth because I stream once a week. Like, you have a life. You have things that you enjoy doing. That's a win. But I don't have a life either, so where did time go? I mean, Gumi, we got jobs, right? We all work jobs. That's how we can afford these things. Like, yeah, touching grass? For shame. You should be stuck in a room making 24/7 content. I feel like this is also a thing, though. Like, more VTubers need to touch grass, because what are you gonna talk about if you don't touch grass, right? I feel like if you don't go outside and you don't push yourself into new experiences, you're not gonna have anything to talk about, and you're just gonna be repeating the same things every time you stream. And also, oh my god, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, because I know I have some creators in chat, but I feel like if I've isolated myself for too long, I just lose all of my creativity. Yes, she can tell the future. This is all a mirage and pre-recorded. Yes, I am reading chat from my silly little orb that I have in front of me. Ooh, what is tomorrow going to look like? Orb of wisdom. What is Tuesday going to look like? It says it's going to be mildly cloudy and the air is going to taste vaguely of chlorine. That is what your Tuesday forecast is, chat. Ascent to consistency through outsourcing editing. Well, that's also another thing. Like, I will always advocate for doing things yourself, because that's the best way to learn. And if you're just like constantly outsourcing things, you're never gonna learn what works for you if you just pay other people to make your channel for you. Other people can't be funny for you. Well, I mean, they can if you pay them, but like, at that point, you're more of a business owner than a creator, and if that's what you're going for, go for it, but like, I feel like it's better to spend more time on less content than it is to try and push everything out and flood the algorithm. But that's just also my approach to content creation. There's a lot of different approaches, and I think it also depends on what demographic you're going for. Like, Daishima saying these things in chat is a very different demographic from mine. And Gumi's demographic is also very different from both of ours. So like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't make enough to hire an editor. Well, the thing is, like, even for VTubers who are in like Vshoujo, even for VTubers who do make a lot of money off of videos, normally editors do not, you don't earn that money back. Editors are a investment that you put into growth and discovery. And for most people, it would just be more worth it to edit it yourself. Especially since, I don't know, I feel like the shorts bubble has kind of burst. I could be wrong, some people still find success on shorts, but like, for me and my demographic, it doesn't work. Because shorts still has a very like, men in their like teens and 20s demographic, and that is not my demographic. I am generally here for the girls and the gays. And that is like, I've discovered that's my primary audience. Which is, I'm so thankful for that because I love the culture on my channel because of it. But it means that certain strategies don't work for me where it would work for other people. And I think that goes into like what you find important and like what types of things that you want to post. But yeah, for most people, if you invest in editors, you're not gonna ever make that money back. Never. You're never making that money back. Unless your video is reaching some particularly high heights. But even then, if you consider so streamers that do have prolific editors that do make a large portion of their income off of edited content, right, on YouTube, you have to look at their channels and see what kind of content they're actually doing. Are they filming outside of just streaming? If they are turning a stream into a video, what kind of stream is it? What premise does it have? How often do they post? Because I guarantee you most of these people who have like severely edited content are not posting once a week. So yeah, it really just depends on the person and depends on how they choose to manage their channel. I'm a firm believer though that if you do what you enjoy doing, no matter what your numbers look like, it's gonna be fulfilling. And it's gonna be a lot more consistent and it's gonna be a lot more fulfilling as a medium than if you were to do it another way. You know? Like, I feel like even audiences enjoy watching a creator that's having more fun than someone who's just trying to meet a quota, if that makes sense. And that's my own opinion. That's why I run the channel the way that I do now, and that's why I made the shift to less streams, more videos, and more covers in particular. Looking at my itemized expenses for taxes last year, I'm aghast how other creators could afford to commission so much more than me, because as you know, I DIY most things. I feel like that is how most creators should operate, but also I feel like some creators will make a lot more than other people. Some demographics just naturally make more, depending on what you cater to. I feel like balancing your expenses as a creator, it's gonna take a long time for you going. It takes like most people something like 6 years to be profitable as just like a creator. And this is also why I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming less, but I'm uploading more and I'm taking that time to be a lot more intentional. Because I feel like as a VTuber, you can get really caught up in buying things, and it's really not necessary. Like the first year that I was a creator, right? I basically did everything myself. Especially since I wasn't monetized. I told myself that I was not going to buy anything other than like motion graphics. Anything that I could do myself, I wasn't gonna buy because I wasn't monetized. There was no way I was gonna make that back. And nowadays, I still do a lot of my own things, because I'm monetized, but like, a lot of the money that I put into covers already is substantial. And then of course you have like equipment on top of that, especially being a 3D VTuber that requires a lot of specialized equipment. So yeah, it ends up being a lot. Well, time for me to start the ASMR channel to bankroll the other stuff. I don't think you necessarily need to do ASMR. So there's a few niches that I think work really well. I think the first one is just like really, really, really close-knit communities where you have those returning people. If you have returning viewers that consistently push you into like a consistent sort of rhythm, that is probably the best thing that you can have, and that's the most influence you'll have. The next best is catering to a more idol-like culture, because that culture has a lot more spending involved. Idol-like culture and event culture is probably one of the like top earning ways to be a VTuber. I don't really play into the idol thing, but I do events, even though I encourage you guys not to spend money on me, especially in this economy. I would rather you eat. If you're not eating, and if your living standard is not good, I don't want you spending on me at all. I make free content for a reason. My emotes are $1 for a reason. I never want anyone to lose out, and so that's why my philosophy is the way that it is. But I feel like for a lot of people, it can be really easy to make money if you really need to balance that. And then the third is probably just, it sounds weird, but children's content. You can make hella advertising money on children's content with little to no restrictions on YouTube. It's a really unfortunate system. And it doesn't matter what you upload. Whatever you upload, it can and will be shown on YouTube Kids. So that's fun. Unless it's age restricted, but... Dude, ASMR is wild. I did my first one and the VOD views, the watch hours. Yeah, that plays more into the like idol-y thing. It's more than just ASMR. It's like the general girlfriend experience. People are more inclined to spend on you because they feel like you're giving them a service, if that makes sense. I'm joking, I'm already net positive on my income from content, but I do want to try making more channels for stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like separating content into channels is a really good strategy. I've been thinking about doing that, but I don't know how I would do it. I feel like, though, right now my channel's kind of disjointed because I'll do all of these like gaming uploads and then I'll do a music cover, and I don't feel like they go together, but I also don't know. I don't know how I want to separate them. Or if I want to separate them at all, because I feel like also having a consolidated community is super helpful. I saw somewhere that art with OCs is better than just fan art, because if you have an audience that likes your own work, they might stay longer. Yeah, so as an artist, right? If you can get popular with art of original characters or of storylines of your own, as opposed to fan creations, it's kind of like the thing that I had with Genshin, right? If you're a variety creator and you're doing a lot more of your own creative works, you pull in an audience that's more engaged with you than they are in fandom. That's where I found my like downfall in my trajectory on this channel. Granted, I'm slowly picking it back up, doing my own sort of like event streaming types of things, but yeah, so I will generally advocate for people to do originals, but I will say being part of a fandom occasionally does give you notoriety, and that, depending on how long you do it, you can find people that will stick with you outside of that fandom. And you'll also find people who just enjoy your work, who got exposed to you because of that fandom. So there's plus and minuses to engaging in fandom culture and really like playing into that. Some people can do it and it like strategically really works for them. Other people, it doesn't. I could have pushed my fandom, like Genshin stuff, really far. I didn't, because I got burnt out. So it really depends on the type of person you are and how mind-numbing you find it. Isn't there a legal thing against ads on children's content? You would think. You would think. I lectured on proper trash and recycling sorting and reducing and reusing. Yeah! I want to watch that actually. Gumi, can you DM me that VOD? Also, hello, John! We're talking about VTubers, VTuber culture, how to become a streamer, how creating stuff works, any sort of technical questions you have about anything I do on the stream. All of that. You can ask me anything, and I will answer to the best of my ability and give you the advice that you oh so dearly need. Okay, Cherry Blossom in the Q&A asks, does making a model require actual coding or just modeling? So, this is a pretty easy question. Most of the time, you'll need modeling. It also depends on, whether you're 2D or 3D, right? So I'm 3D, and that means I have to 3D model and rig my character, right? I have to take Twig, I have to make her into a 3D plane, I have to do the 2D art, that is the textures for everything, because everything that you see has like a texture, right? And that's basically you take Twig and then you make her flat, like you splice her into a bunch of cubes, and then you take those cubes as a grid and then you draw on top of that, and that's how Twig gets her colors, right? That's how Twig looks the way that she is. And then you take that and you take your knowledge of how bones wiggle and you make an armature, and you do spring bones for the hair, and the like bow and anything else that moves. What do you mean make her flat? You already... Gumi? These are bold words. These are bold words coming from you. I don't want to hear it. You see this? This is more than you could ever imagine. Okay. Anyways, so... So you gotta know how bones wiggle, and it is literally called bones. And then you apply that, and then you have a model, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff with the rendering and the texturing and the shadows and all of that stuff. That's all very technical. I can go into it in more detail if you're like super curious. Live 2D though is a little bit different. That's your 2D models. You have flat artwork, but instead of like taking a 3D thing that is in cubes and drawing on top of the cubes, you take a 2D thing and you cut it up into little sections, and then each section has to be drawn as an individual part. So like if you have an arm, right, that's cut off by a sleeve, you have to draw the rest of the arm. So it's a bunch of layers of just individual pieces of a model. I've seen people have models with like articulated fingers. Like each finger joint is its own part. And then like each hair strand is its own thing. Each like little piece of cloth is its own thing. And then you take that into Live 2D cubism, right? And then you basically say, oh yes, when you get this input, this piece of hair moves this way. And you do that for the entire model, and do expressions that way, and you animate toggles and things like that. And that's how the 2D models work. So it's no actual programming, but you can use programming. I use like visual scripting in my vtubing like software that I use. I use Warudo. And Warudo has a visual scripting kind of like system where you can take nodes. So like, for example, if someone uses an emote right now, it should float towards me. And that is the programming asset. So anything that is like integrated with YouTube, anything that is like a chat box, anything that is something to do with a stream, it'll actually like require a little bit of programming. Thank you, Zero. That's yeah, it would only be my emotes because I don't have the time to put in the other emotes. Also, oh my god, it's not working because I didn't input the YouTube stream. So YouTube is also more finicky than Twitch is. If we were Twitch, that would have worked, but people with hand wringing are masochists. I will not be convinced otherwise. Well, you know Cinny? You know your fellow wife, Gumi? Cinny? Her model has toe rigging. Each of her toes are separated. I wish I didn't know this information about her, but I do. And she does that for each of her models. All of the toes are separated and they're all like fully rendered, and I don't know why. Warudo is so much better than the 3D software we had in the past. I argue for like webcam people like me. If you have an iPhone, it's a little bit of a different story, but for webcam people like me, I wish the face tracking was better for webcam. And then also like it's very, very system intensive. If you have like not a NASA supercomputer, good luck streaming with Warudo. Also, hello Judd! Hello! We're talking about vtubing advice, tech advice, things like that. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask them in the Q&A, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. You will be anonymous. I will not pull up you publicly, so if you have a question and you're thinking about VTubing and you don't want to out yourself as a potential VTuber, just say anonymous before it, and I will be like, ah yes, anonymous says. I suppose that is why 3D people used to use VR chat. I guess maybe. I feel like also VR chat creators grew separately from 3D VTubers, weirdly enough. I feel like it's like weirdly separate. I think it's partially because of the Twitch separation. But I feel like VR chat creators didn't even consider themselves VTubers until we started calling them VTubers. And then they were like, okay, well, I'm a VTuber now. I feel like VR chat is very different. Toes are easier than hands, and now I must go look at her models. The toesies. How do you decide what games you play / how do you find inspiration to find games? I feel like this is a really interesting question. So, part of it is following people, following other people and seeing what they play. Sometimes there will be a big boom in a game and everyone will be wanting to put together a collab for that game. As someone who doesn't get invited to a lot of collabs, so she puts them together. A lot of the times these collabs are horror games, and I will never play a horror game on this channel, so I have to turn down a lot of those. But like, for instance, a few months ago, Lethal Company was a really big thing. You had content warning as well, that was really big. A lot of horror games do really well in the like collab sphere. And then for me in particular, I either play a game that I really like playing, that I can feel like, okay, there is a sweet spot when it comes to choosing games, right? You kind of have to be strategic because it has to be a game that you feel like you can talk through, because if you're not talking, people are gonna get bored, right? People are there to watch you, not the game most of the time. Sometimes you'll have a channel where people are there to watch the game, and that's where you find like the silent gameplay, no commentary, just like unedited VOD style kind of channels. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but I feel like for most streamers, you're gonna want to be talking through it. And most of the time, you're gonna want a game that you feel like you can talk through. So story games don't normally go very well on stream. Also because a lot of the times when you're playing story games, people who haven't already played the story won't want to watch. they won't want to watch because they'll want to play it on their own, and they don't want to be spoiled. But then if you've already played the game, unless you know that channel and you know that reactor and you know that they would have reactions that you would be interested in, are you really gonna watch someone play a game that you've already played, especially if it's a story game, right? So like there is a sweet spot with story games, there's a sweet spot with any game, finding something that you can talk through, but generally I watch what other people are playing. I also take into consideration how much I'm spending on games, and then I also really like to find obscure Steam games. Sometimes I'll just scroll through like the free games or like the low price games, and I have like so many games from that I still have yet to play that I have like up my sleeve for like random ass collabs. Not me rewatching every Ace Attorney and 13 Sentinel gameplay. I want to play Ace Attorney. I feel like that would be so much fun, especially since my audience is like full of lawyers. That would be so much funny. Grab your bowl of cereal and put other creators' content up. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, how do you guys feel about like React content? Because I know it's such a like spicy content. I know like React content is like a really controversial thing, and I try and avoid it because I am someone who does a lot of their own things, because I'm not really, since going from Genshin, I've tried to actively go from being a reactor to something to be reacted to. I would watch satire reaction content. New April Fool's stream. I'm too paranoid about copyright takedowns. I wouldn't mind doing it. I feel like some people can do React content pretty well. If the content, there's like such a thing as ethical reactions, but like, I don't know. I know it's like very easy for people to get invested in because you have a well-made piece of content, but also that's like a piece of like artwork out on the internet that like someone else crafted, so it's like I hate React content. There are some ways to do it correctly, but we know most don't. Yeah, that's the thing, like React content, when it's actually done well and when the person is actually like contributing something to the conversation and not just eating, that's good. But like most React content, I'm like, it's almost like curating stuff. Oh, the old Genshin videos were reaction style content? I wouldn't say they were, but I would say that I was like reacting to the things of Genshin rather than making my own stuff, if that makes sense. Like I'm branching into making my own events and making my own kind of worlds and things like that, more so than relying on someone else's creation, which sometimes people will enjoy consuming content, and that is how they operate. They just want to make content on something that they enjoy, and that's okay. That's someone else's thing. But for me, I have the silly brainworms. I have the silly brainworms that are like, ahaha, we want to create. We are an artiste. Twig is an artiste. People who stream 12 hours a day need to pad out their stuff with reacts. That's also true. But I also feel like sometimes people just need to stream less, right? I feel like streaming has been put into such a position of like just unhealthiness, right? That I'm like, ugh. I will not become the Mr. Beast of Genshin Impact. Daishima, you can't make me. Wahoo! We took our meds and we didn't choke on the amount of pills I have to swallow. Hell yeah! Okay. Put me in that room. I'll make the banks go bankrupt! Rollin will ruin the entire Twig economy. Twigonomy. Yeah, do you guys have any other questions about tech and VTubing and content? It could just be about YouTube in general. It doesn't even have to be about content. It can literally just be like, hey Twig, how do I work the YouTube subscribe button? Let's go not choke on meds. Question, will you see Pokemon games? You know, I've actually never played Pokemon. Never in my life have I actually played Pokemon. Would that be something that you guys would be interested in? I could put a poll out. I feel like doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke as someone who doesn't play Pokemon would be mildly entertaining. Maybe we can do it as like a reward or something. Someone anonymously says stinky and I don't appreciate that person, and so I'm gonna sit down and be like, actually you get timed out for 5 minutes. Can I give you a game recommendation? It is on Roblox, but it is very fun and not Roblox-like. Depending on the game, I might play it. If it's a horror game, I will not. I don't know if you have gotten them, but got insight in sponsorships. Oh! Yeah, so, I've had a few, different, sponsors reach out to me. Obviously, I've never taken any. You've never heard me do an ad read in my life. But I also aspire to a kind of a standard of advertising, because I feel like we as people end up with so much like advertising in our faces that I don't really want to contribute to that if I can help it. And seeing as this isn't like my main form of income, I can turn down sponsorships. Not everyone has that opportunity. Don't go and be stinky to people who do take sponsorships. Because a lot of the times it does really help. So let's cover sponsorships a little bit. There are generally a couple of types of sponsorships, right? You have the affiliate marketing type of thing, and then you have the paid ad read type of thing, and then you have the, oh yes, we will send you thing for free type of thing. And they're all different, and they all have different like ranges and budgets. Truth be told, I don't know how stream sponsorships work. I've never had a stream sponsorship come to me. But generally, how you start getting them, you're gonna make a sponsor email for people to reach out to. That's the first step. Most of the time you'll try and have this in your bio. You can also reach out to companies that you really want to partner with, and a lot of the times if you're passionate and if you are a type of creator that they're looking to, it really just comes down to numbers. In order to get sponsors, you really want that engagement to be up. I believe the sweet spot of like YouTube views would be like 10k. 10k for a video. I don't know what it is for concurrence in a live stream, but for YouTube videos, normally 10k is the sweet spot for advertisers to start coming in. I will say, I've been partnered with games before. How I got those partnerships, I was partnered with Genshin Impact for a little bit on their primary forum thing, which I think I'm still technically in that partnership program. I'm not completely sure because I haven't checked it. But game partnerships can be interesting as a creator because if you are in a niche, it can be really really beneficial. If you stream the same game over and over and it's something like a gacha game, a lot of the times they'll have a partnership. I was also in the Love and Deep Space partnership for a little bit, and you'll be incentivized to create a certain amount of content, and then depending on how that content goes, you'll get paid. So that is how those sorts of like game partnerships goes. You have affiliate marketing. That's when you get a code. This is kind of the Linus Tech Tips style of like, I don't know. I review this thing and then there's a code in my description. I know Sakurako also does partnerships like this. Gamer Sups, a lot of like caffeine things do this. Vite Ramen also has partnerships like this that you could reach out to. And that's when you'll have a code that you ask your community to purchase something with. Affiliate links, yes. A lot of the times, if you have a creator who has an affiliate link, oh, Amazon wishlist is also a big thing. If you are like reviewing products, you can do an Amazon wishlist, and that will be an affiliate link as well. A lot of the times you'll make commission off of your sale. Or if it's not a commission, it's like a membership incentive thing. Yeah, if someone signs up to a newsletter, like an email thing. I know there's a like adult wellness company, trying not to get demonetized on YouTube. There's an adult wellness company that sponsors some like therapy streamers and like girly pop streamers, I would call them. They do affiliate marketing where if you sign up to their email, they get a commission. So sometimes purchase isn't necessary. Sometimes it's just like a newsletter or something like that. And then for paid sponsorships like ad reads, you really do have to be aggressive in reaching out to companies unless you have like 100k views average. A lot of the times, these sponsors, you will put together something called a media kit. And this will have your numbers, it'll have your demographics, it'll have your achievements, it'll have bios about like the type of content you do, it'll have examples of previous ad reads and previous partnerships you've had. It's basically like a resume, but for sponsorships. And you end up sending that out to a bunch of companies. And there is a platform that can do this for you. It's called like Beacons or something, where you just partner it with your pages and then it shows you like companies that might be interested in affiliating with you or sponsoring you. I don't use it, but I know a lot of creators do and they find success with it. So that's a thing. I've been reached out to mostly by my email. So having your email in your bio and having an email in your YouTube that people can reach out to, that really does help with getting sponsorships and opportunities. YouTube has a press kit built in as well if you're a weirdo that only does YouTube. I didn't even know they have a press kit. Okay, let me scroll up in chat. Do it. Maybe I'll do Ace Attorney. I'm too paranoid. Okay, yeah. People who stream 12, yeah, Twig's first Pokemon game being the too many types ROM hacks. I don't even know what that is. People gotta get that bag. Yeah, for real. Like, sponsorships, I don't think they should be demonized, but also I feel icky about advertising to you guys something that I don't feel should be advertised to you. Like, I've turned down, I think, 3 different caffeine supplements at this point. Because I just don't want a partnership with a caffeine supplement. I know some of you guys are addicted to that shit and I don't want to feed into it. You won't get real non-shitty sponsors until 10k plus views, but really
Insert
100.
strange message here, bread.
Thank you! Thank you, Bubba, for being a member for 3 months! Bread indeed! But yeah, a lot of the sponsorships that you would actually be well paid for, because a lot of the beginning ones you won't be really paid unless you get commission. The ones you'll actually be paid for, yeah, that'll come way down the line. The recommendation, there's this game called Neonice, and it's basically a third-person shooter merged with Stardew Valley etc. story game. It's cyberpunk and very complicated, but I can give you a summary. Can you comment that on my community tab? I'm sorry if that's an awkward question, but if you comment it, I will have a notification of it and I can look further into it off of stream. What did I get from my gaming partnerships? A lot of the times you'll have monetary incentives, but you also... so how those work, normally you'll have a monetary incentive, but it's like a ranking system. So you have to rank above the other creators who are also posting. So it's really only good if you have a situation like with my Genshin content where you have something that you post about every week. And that game that you have, the people really like your posts. And your posts are consistent enough in numbers that you could consistently reach like the top levels on that platform. So like in Love and Deep Space, I think I got reached out to by their company, I want to say when my video on Love and Deep Space hit like 1k views. I could be wrong. It could have been before then, but because I made a video, they invited me to launch and all of those things. So things like that. A lot of the times they'll also give you brand assets. And sometimes they'll pay you, and then other times they'll give you in-game incentives to keep playing and things like that. So it really depends on the company and how their budget goes and how many creators they're reaching out to. I find that most gaming companies that reach out to you at this size are either looking for a like cheaper option, which you can market yourself for now, yeah, because you're smaller, your prices are going to be lower, and that can cater to certain companies who might not have the funds for a bigger advertising budget. But then also you'll have a lot of bigger companies who just want a wide range and cast a wide net, and so you'll probably in that situation get even less than the smaller companies. Let me see. OMG, I forgot about the too many types ROM hack. I don't even know what that is. We are stream watchers. Caffeine is not great for us. Yeah, I do not want to advertise caffeine to you guys. I feel like that's not the best thing. I got a lot of money from my partnership from Hoyo before I stopped doing game streams. Game burnout real. Yes, very much so. Game burnout real. Game burnout goes insane. Okay, so that's my thing about sponsorships. If anyone has more questions about specific things that I said about sponsorships, you can add them to the Q&A. If you already answered, I'll rewind. What changed to make mic not crunchy? Was it hardware or software helped too? So if you're talking about from like 2023 to 2024, that switch, that was because you guys actually funded the mic that I currently use. I put a beacon mic on Throne, and that is the mic that I have been using for basically the end of 2023 to 2024. So yes, it was a hardware upgrade, but there are things that you can do to fix, quote unquote, your mic. Learning about EQ, compression, limiters, and noise gates. Really helpful in improving your sound. But unfortunately, if my first mic was a Amazon Basics like $20 mic, and I still have the mic stand from that, and that is still the mic stand I use today for all of my streams. It is very lightweight, and I probably need a different mic stand, but I'm gonna use it until it literally dies. But yeah, you definitely want mic filters to improve your mic if you're not like Daishima and I, and you actually have like an Amazon $20 mic. Cause I've been there, and guess the fuck what? My audio was really bad because I didn't know what I was doing with the mic filters. But there are tons of tutorials out there on how to set up your stream audio to be the exact way that you want. I will always advocate as well, if you are a gamer and you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a gamer headset with a mic, just don't. Because a lot of them are crap. Don't stream with a gamer headset. The high-end gamer headsets, you would literally just be better off splitting that money, getting like good headphones, and then a mic separate. And you'll get better audio with that. Better sound quality and better mic quality. So, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I'd like to know the specifics on the mics you use. Absolutely. So my main one that you hear me use most of the time will be the Beacon. It's a USB mic. I have that plugged just straight into the USB. I believe you can have it wired differently, but I just use it in the USB. It does a lot of its own software processing, and the software itself, you can have all of the filters that you want and save it to the mic itself instead of your OBS. Or a third-party program like, what is it? What's it called? VoiceMod? Yeah, VoiceMod has a lot of filters as well if you need them. But, so, yeah, I use the Beacon for most daily things because it's really fucking convenient. It's a USB mic. It has all of its own settings. It lights up when I'm muted. It's nice. It's nice visually too, to indicate that the mic is on and that it's working, because it'll light up in certain ways depending on what's happening with it. You can use a Stream Deck for your audio as well. I don't. I have the Beacon, so it's not really necessary. The Beacon also has like an audio mixer sort of thing, but I don't really find that to be necessary as one person with one mic. You don't really need a mixer in this situation. And then for covers, I use the AT2040, Audio-Technica 2040, and I got that because when I was recording for V-Parade, this mic was popping. I don't know how I fixed the popping, but the popping is no longer popping. In case you haven't noticed, I don't really pop as much anymore, and I don't know how the fuck it happened, but it doesn't. And so sometimes I'll record covers using this mic, but most of the time I have the AT2040, which is not a USB mic. So I had to get an audio interface with that, and I use the Scarlett Solo. By recommendation of Mail! Yippee! Mail! We love Mail! I remember the Popping Suffer stream. Yeah, I was kind of going insane. So I bought the AT2040, which is like, I want to say it's a $90 mic. But it's really good. It's a nice condenser. I really enjoy its sound profile for recording covers. It's just a little bit inconvenient with my setup and how I would have to cable manage it to fit it into like my everyday. So you still record with a dynamic mic. I don't know if it's dynamic or condenser. But yeah, I record with the 2040 if I can. Sometimes I'll record with the beacon. Like Gumi, the upcoming projects. Well, the upcoming project I've already recorded for, that was done on the beacon. That's part of why it was so fast. It was done on this mic. Yeah, AT2040 is dynamic. Oh, well, yeah, both of them are dynamic then. There's a USB version of the AT2040 if you hate audio quality. you know, that it happens. Gumi, what mic do you use? What mic do you use? Also, Daishima, are you still on the SM7B? Because Daishima's fancy and has like all the fancy tech. Oh my god, look at Daishima go. Holy shit. But yeah, any other questions about setup, VTubers, all of the other things that go into this silly hobby? If you want to know about video editing, I can go a little bit into video editing. If you want to know about like OBS, I can go into OBS. If you want to know about how I do the add commands and things like that, I can go into that. Yeah. Hell, I have a whole channel dedicated to making Vroids, which I wanna do that again. I wanna make a Vroid on stream, but I haven't been taking commissions, so I haven't really like gotten into that. True Mail has said to don't use USB mics, please. Audio interface isn't scary. It really isn't. The only reason I don't use an audio interface normally is literally just because of cable management. I am a nightmare of cables always, being a 3D VTuber, so like, you know, nightmare of cables is, yeah, it's worse when you have even more cables. I have the Shure SM7B Plus, the Wave XLR for my main mic, but I did set up my Phiomic 2 lav mic. I swap into my Wave XLR for my 3D setup. I'm so excited to see Daishima's 3D, like full 3D, like not test stream 3D, but full 3D. That's so exciting. I love it when my friends get 3D. I love corrupting my friends. My mic has both USB and XLR options. I just don't have an interface. Get an interface. Put an interface on Throne, Gumi. Have priorities. SM7B. Udai has all the tech. Have I ever shown you guys like Daishima's backstage? Daishima has sent me like photos of Daishima's set, and it's honestly kind of insane. I feel like I would go insane every time that I had to like set that up and take it down. My mic arm is more expensive than Twig's audio setup. It really is. It's so funny too because Daishima will be like, Twig, you need this piece of technical equipment. This piece of technical equipment will save your life. And I'm like, but that's all of the money that I could use to make another cover. That is all of the money that I could use to go and get an original song done. Like, I'm just prioritizing things. Daishima, do you have a cheaper camera recommendation? I need a second cam for cooking. Oh, true. You have behind the curtain of dye, yes. Behind the green screen, as they say. My mic arm, yeah, suggest me an interface for me. I would ask Mail. I don't know your mics that well. So, yeah. I feel like the Scarlett Solo is pretty standard though. Most people just go with that. I know most people just have a Scarlett Solo. Yeah. I've seen Dice set up too. It's crazy, right? If aren't doing the blue screen setup, you can go with most stuff within your budget. Really depends on what you can afford. Yeah, I think my webcam is like $20. Yup. Funny, funny, funny. Being a creator is so silly. That being said, though, I can feel my throat getting hoarse, and it's really bad. I know I've only been streaming for like an hour, but I may need to leave. Oh yeah! I haven't said anything about this. Yeah, so starting on Wednesday, I'm probably gonna start streaming on Twitch in the afternoons. Because I want to do some farming for the upcoming Moogle Tombstone event in Final Fantasy XIV, and I don't want to plague my channel with Final Fantasy XIV content. And guess what? Those streams would already be unarchived. Multi or just second stream there. Yeah, so I will not be multi-streaming to YouTube. If you want to see me play Final Fantasy XIV unarchived, it will literally only be on Twitch. Because I don't want to plague this channel with it, and I know a lot of you guys don't know Final Fantasy XIV, but I feel like if I'm in a category of just people playing Final Fantasy XIV, more people will get it. So that's fun. $8 equals cheap, no wonder VTubers or PNG tubers flesh tubes software is pain. Are you sure? Are you sure, Cass? Because... Cass, have you seen the price of a singular VTuber model? Ooh. I'm considering making like a $500 investment on this channel. That most of you guys wouldn't even realize happened, because it's not even a visual upgrade, it's just a quality of life upgrade for software. There's a reason we make our— yes. Very much so. Yeah. I think that my 3D setup is north of 2K if you include everything, but I didn't buy it all at once. Lol pain. Yeah, I think slimes alone were like $700. I've only ever looked at the really low-end stuff, to be fair. Yeah, the full body model with like good rigging, probably gonna cost you over $1,000. Probably. You don't have to pay that amount of money to become a VTuber, but like, when you're in it, when you have like an established presence, a lot of the times you're gonna want a model of that quality. And they're expensive. I use Vive trackers, they are even more expensive for Lighthouse. And that doesn't even count the 3D model. I don't even want to know how much you paid for your 3D model. It's probably not as much as your 2D model. Actually, Daishima, how much was your 2D model? Because Daishima's 2D model was pretty funny, pretty funky fresh. But yeah, VTubing's like an expensive hobby. There's a reason why VTubers like do not expect to be cash positive a lot of the times. And there's also another reason why a lot of VTubers don't hire people. Yeah, mixing pixels and IRL, I try not to think about it, yeah. My Life 2D model was super cheap because it was 2020 prices. 1K for design, ref, art, and rig! Oh my god, take us back to 2020, am I right? Holy shit. I saw a more well-known model maker, just the art and cut was 5 digits, yeah. Models can get up to like 25K. Maybe 100K, depending on the artist and the rigger. Yeah, they can... The high ends, like professional VTubing models, yeah, they're up there. If you're wanting like Brian from Iron Vertex to rig your model, good fucking luck, bro. Two expensive hobbies and people do both. Yup. Yup. So yeah, there's pros and cons. I feel like if you're trying to just be a creator with the least amount invested, either make all your own shit or just be a faceless person. You don't have to have something on screen. Look at RT Games, right? Granted, RT Games does a lot more with PNG model and like facecam nowadays, but like you don't need it to start, you know? Buy a pre-made model for cheaper. Oh yeah, have you guys seen the pre-made like the pre-made customizable $500 model? It's not that bad. I considered it a little bit, but then I was like, no, I have other things to be spending $500 on. That is not a live 2D when I'm already 3D. Yeah. To be honest, these days flesh tubers can just use their phones. It's way cheaper than vtubing, truly. I mean, it also depends on the flesh tuber. If you look at someone like Ava's production is kind of crazy as well. Ava's setup is a little crazy. A lot of the ones I've seen are AI. The customizable ones, or... Because I think most of the customizable ones are discounted because it's a template model. You can find some creators on Booth as well. Booth is a good place to look. Don't look on Etsy. Etsy VTuber models are like notoriously kind of fucked. If it's okay to ask, is a Fuji that bad too? Expensive or sub 200 USD? I guess always depends on who you get it from. Yeah, you don't want to pay $200 for Fuji. You really do not want to pay $200 for a Fuji. Most of the time, I think my Fuji was like 20. Cause if you're talking Fuji, most it is 2 GIFs. For like a regular Fuji, that's just 2 frames. So yeah, $200 max I would pay for a Fuji is maybe $50, and that's if it's animated. Fujis are not that expensive. And then, but the thing about Fujis is you have to be in a Discord call for them to work. What is a Fuji? Okay, so, here, let me... Hey, Gumi. Let me call Gumi. Actually, never mind. You know what? I'll join the... What call am I gonna join? I'll join this call. Okay, if I join this call, right? And I go... I should have it here. Where the fuck is the thing? Where the fuck is the thing? It should be this. Ah! Okay. You see how this moves when I talk? So, what is happening here is, Discord is listening to me talk. And then whenever I talk, whenever I would light up green in Discord, the mouth moves. And this is what's called a Fujitech reactive. You can go to the website Reactive by Fujitech. And this is what VTubers call a Fuji. And it can show up on other people's streams. So if you're in a Discord call with someone else, and they have the browser source from this, you'll show up as this on their stream. And so I have it for guests who show up. But yeah, generally, yeah, it's a PNG tuber type of thing. That's really easy to set up. And it doesn't even take load off of your PC. As long as you're in a Discord call, it's a browser source, so it does all the processing for you, and it's literally just displaying from Wi-Fi. Hi Kyra! Hello! I guess high because I wasn't sure. Yeah, a lot of VTubing will have like a surplus charge, but generally Fujitechs are pretty normal. I will say, this is a little bit of a spicy take, but I feel like for things like Fuji's or starting soon screens or stream alerts or chat boxes or VTuber models, there should not be an additional price for a commercial fee. Why are you making us pay a 50% commercial fee for something that is literally named Stream Alert? No one is using a Stream Alert for a personal thing. Just price yourself at the price that you would want from the commercial fee. This doesn't go for things like art. I get things like art. I get things like music, because music has very specific laws around it. Right? But like, stream alerts? Chat widgets? Are you saying I can't get a Discord on my Fuji for my Discord kitten that isn't used for content? Dang. I mean, I can kind of get Fuji's, right? Because sometimes you can have like a friend, right, who might stream, but like you don't stream, but even then it would still kind of be commercial because it'll be featured on a stream. I don't think anyone's using Fuji's outside of streams. I don't think anyone is like setting up Fuji's and just like having them in OBS, right? Like, there are very few things that are not streaming sources that can use browser sources like that. So I'm like, that is one thing where I don't get the VTuber culture around that, but I will always not dispute the artist, because if that's how the artist wants to operate, that's how the artist operates. I assume that it's just like a copy and paste terms of service thing that they do for everything, because I used to do a very similar thing when I did commissions. I crashed. Are you okay, Kyra? I emoji? Kyra? Please be okay? If you're not, please seek medical attention or whatever. Okay. I thought you pulled a Gumi there. I was very concerned. But yeah! I hope you get your rest, Kyra. Okay, so I'm gonna end stream soon. We're gonna figure out someone to raid, but if you want to watch my Twitch streams on Final Fantasy XIV, it's check out my community page, because I have like the link here. Let me get the link for you right now as well. Ooh, Twig is sharing her Twitch. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's my Twitch. If you want to watch me do Final Fantasy things, that will be it. But until then, thank you guys so much for coming out. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed answering your questions. If you ever have any more questions, I am always happy to answer them as best as I can, even if I'm trying to stream something else. Twig, yeah. I'll be on Twitch, yes! I'm never going to become a Twitch affiliate, but I'm playing Final Fantasy on Twitch from Wednesday for like a week to farm the Moogle Tombstones event. But we need to figure out someone to raid. Who's streaming? Ooh, this is like low-key my favorite part of streaming on Monday. I enjoy looking around and being like, ooh, who's streaming right now? Oh, hee hee, haha, hee hee, ho ho, hee hee. You know what? Okay, I apologize to those of you who don't like big chats. I'm gonna raid into Maidment, because you know what? I love Maidment. And I feel like we need to share Maidment on this channel. We need to share the love of Maidment. The raid message, as always, is get twigged. If you feel bad twigging someone you don't know, you can say get twigged respectfully. And until then, I will see you guys on Twitch on Wednesday. Anyways, goodbye, everyone. Thank you for coming. It was so much fun.